Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Tailgate Party. Long weekend. We had Thanksgiving on Friday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We had Good Friday or Black Friday, whatever it's called, yesterday. Got a bunch of stuff done in the house. We actually painted an area of the house which we've been putting off for 3 or 4 years now. Finally got that done. So today we are hanging out, watching College Game Day, and then watching the Michigan game at noon, and then the rest of the games 3:30, and then the Primetime game tonight, which I believe is, I don't know, to be honest with you. So let's take a look at this week's blog. All right, so in what would traditionally be the last weekend of regular season play for college football, we're actually in like week 13, but it's week 5 or week 6 for some conferences. So it's definitely a little screwy. We're going to be playing out through December 12th for most of the conferences, with their quote-unquote championship weekend December 19th. But even that is becoming kind of a mess right now, with a bunch of Big Ten games being canceled, SEC games being canceled or postponed. So we'll see how this all shakes out. Ohio State was canceled today, so that's going to be a mess with trying to figure out who the East champion is. Could end up being Indiana, which is wacky. But anyway, let's take a look at this week's blog. College football week 13 didn't look good, then it looked better, then a little shaky, and finally a win. Iron Bowl weekend? That's right. So Michigan has been graced with 3 primetime games this season, and to date they were 1-1. With the season opening win against Minnesota, then an absolute rout loss against the Badgers. On the verge of, at best, a 500 season, the Wolverines had to come out strong and take control of the game against Rutgers last Saturday night. Well, coming out strong was not what I would call the first 25 minutes of the game last weekend. After halftime, they took advantage of the coin toss and got the ball first and took it to the house for a 95-yard kickoff return. Okay, things are looking a little better. Things were looking good for another 20 to 25 minutes of the second half. Then the Scarlett Knights found some momentum and tied it up to close out the game and head to overtime. Then a second overtime, and ultimately a third OT, where the Wolverines held Rutgers on 4th down to win a tough one in Piscataway. Staying up till after midnight to watch the end of this game came after another long day of college football, where we saw a bunch of good games, a fair share of blowouts, and not too many upsets where we only saw all ranked teams win, except for number 14 Oklahoma State falling to Oklahoma in what should be called a blowout, 41-13. As the 2020 season starts to come to a close, it will be interesting to see how all of the postponed, canceled games will be handled. Stay tuned. Week 13 gives us a handful of exciting games on deck, with College Game Day headed to Tuscaloosa for the Iron Bowl, number 22 Auburn at number 1 Alabama. So let's take a look. Last night's games, we saw Iowa State beat Texas 23-20. Liberty beat UMass 45-0. Iowa beat Nebraska 26-20. Notre Dame pulled away in the fourth quarter, won 31-17. UCF and USF, a typical offensive output, 58-46. Stanford at California, close one, where Stanford took it 24-23. And then finally, the Beavers of Oregon State beat the Ducks 41-38. Today's games, like I said, we have the Ohio State-Illinois game canceled. Kentucky at number 12 Florida, going to take Florida there. Maryland at number 12 Indiana, going to take Indiana. Texas Tech at 23 Oklahoma State. Noon Fox game, going to take Okie State there. Penn State at Michigan, noon ABC, got to take Michigan here, of course. Number 20 Coastal Carolina at Texas State. 3 p.m. ESPN Plus, going to take Coastal Carolina. 22 Auburn at number 1 Alabama, 3:30, the CBS game. I'd love to see Auburn pull the upset, but I think Alabama's probably just got a little bit too much in the tank right here. So I'm going to go Alabama. Pittsburgh at number 3 Clemson, going to take the Tigers there. Number 8 Northwestern at Michigan State, even though it's at East Lansing, going to take the Fighting Fitzgeralds and go with the Wildcats here. That's 3:30 ESPN2. Colorado at number 18 USC, 3:30 ABC. Going to take Trojans here. Rutgers at Purdue. Who knows? Let's take the Scarlet Knights. That's the 4 p.m. Fox game. LSU at number 5 Texas A&M. Going to go with the Aggies here. 7 o'clock ESPN. Duke at Georgia Tech. Let's go with Georgia Tech. ESPN 3, 7 o'clock. Number 9, Georgia at South Carolina, 7:30, SEC Network. Going to go with the Bulldogs here. Number 11, Oklahoma at West Virginia. Got to go Sooners here. That's the 7th. Actually, nope, I'm sorry. That's postponed. TCU at Kansas, 8 o'clock at Fox Sports 1. Virginia at Florida State, 8 p.m. ACC Network. Arizona at UCLA, 8 p.m. Fox. Utah at Washington, 10:30, one of the late games, ESPN. And Hawaii at Nevada, 11 p.m. I'm not sure where that's airing, if at all. Let's see who the primetime game. Utah at Washington ends up being the ABC primetime game, so that should be a good one. So that will about do it for us today. Got some mini projects I'm going to do here in the garage, a little bit of woodworking, get that done, and then get ready for the game. I actually have some meat I'm going to throw in the smoker, see if I can get that done for later tonight. So that is about it. I appreciate you tuning in again, and we will see you next time. Enjoy your Saturday.